Hey, I'm back with another Dead Cells video here to show off the before promised Shrapnel Axe. And this time I have a makeshift pop filter which will hopefully prevent all those hissing sounds in the last video. Now, for this run I've gone into custom mode and enabled Shrapnel Axes as the only melee weapon, and everything else in the pool scales with tactics. And looking at what we've got here, I think the best sort of build we can go for here would be Shrapnel Axe plus Thunder Shield, Wings of the Crow, and this Ice Grenade. Haven't really used Wings of the Crow all that much, but you know, these videos are for trying things. I haven't used the Thunder Shield much either now that I think about it. Anyway, the Shrapnel Axe. A very interesting hybrid weapon that functions as a melee weapon up close and a ranged weapon from a distance. It's the only melee weapon that actually uses ammo, which is pretty interesting. So the idea for this build, or this run, is to go for a curse chest on the first prisoner's quarters. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. Anyway, so the idea of this run is to go for a tactics build with Ripper, because I can't recall if Ripper actually does work with the Shrapnel Axe or not, and I would really like to figure that out. That's pretty much the entire reason. Also, I just did a brutality build last time, so I figure it'd be nice to go down the list, go into tactics, you know? That's a very nice and easy first floor curse chest. I don't think I've ever gotten one on the first floor before. Gotten plenty, well, like 2 in the promenade, maybe. It's still a decent amount, though. So that'll be nice, you know? Just getting some stat bonuses off the bat. Now as for the actual combo of the Shrapnel Axe, it attacks quickly at first and gradually gets slower, and as it gets slower it fires out more projectiles, the shrapnel. It's cool. Also the Thunder Shields, if you block a hit with it you gain a static aura for, I assume 8 seconds. I don't know how long. It just seems like everything is 8 seconds. It's 8 seconds, cool. And then if you right-click again to reactivate it, you pulse that energy out, dealing damage and stunning all enemies in the area. It's pretty useful, I think. I haven't really used it that much. I want to stick with Wings of the Crow just for a little bit, because I have never used these things. I know I said that already, but like, I mean it. So when I said I had a makeshift pop filter, by that I mean I went outside and found some old metal wire, got a sock and a rubber band, and just kind of made something that sort of works. It's not going to be great. I did order away for a real pop filter last night, so, you know, this will just have to do till it gets there. Hopefully it fixes all the audio issues, but you know, if it doesn't, I'm sorry. Just have to endure it for a little longer. It's fast. Electric Whip. I like that weapon, but you know, I'm not really gonna use it right now. Don't think it works well with the Shrapnel Axe, because it's already sort of functioning as a ranged weapon. I should be using it as a ranged weapon too. I don't know why I'm pretending like it's only melee. Now, as is my standard fashion, as I'm warming up to play Dead Cells, I have taken a lot of damage on the first floor. 5 hits, which I think is the same as last time. But you don't gotta worry about me, I'll figure a way around it later. Well, actually, this is a tactics build, so I will most likely die, as is tactics on 5-cell mode. But yeah, I mean, it's not like it's impossible to win with tactics on 5-cell mode. It just requires a certain sort of style of play that I have not practiced in quite a while. I like being all up in the enemy's faces to an extent. Tactics is all about staying far away, unless you're doing melee tactics, but nobody does melee tactics. I'm kidding, though. I'm sure there's some people who really enjoy melee tactics. There's gotta be somebody who thinks the tentacle is the greatest weapon in the game. And if you can win with using the tentacle as your main DPS, more... I know I said more power to you a lot in the last episode, but that's just one of my vocal tics, I guess. But really though, I think the tentacle is a cool weapon. It's another sort of like ranged melee hybrid, a lot like this, except not really at all. By that I mean the grapple of the tentacle is the ranged hit, and then the punch that follows is the is that gold as well? No, it's not. If that were gold as well as a cell, I probably would have taken it. I'll just take those for a little more damage, some red stats. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the tentacle. The ranged hit is the one that grapples onto the enemy. The melee hit is when it, you know, punches them. So I think I'm gonna go for the alienation acceptance combo that seems to be pretty mainstay for a tactics build. You know, just providing the healing and malaise reduction that none of the tactics mutations really do. Because tactics... The ideal way to play tactics is never get hit and never need it, but, you know, we're not human. I mean, we're not robots. Haha. Yeah, I should be using this a little more ranged. This is stupid. And it got me hurt, but it's funny. Using Wings of the Crow. I'm sure there's a great way to use them. I think they'd be really good with, they seem like something that would be really, really good with magic missiles, or something that has, like, near full targeting. Or maybe something you log down. But I think magic missiles with Wings of the Crow would be ideal if you want to use Wings of the Crow. But also you could just use, like, so many better things, I think. I don't know. Maybe Wings of the Crow are hidden OP and I'm just too set in my ways to really accept them and understand them. I'll try to use them for as long as I can, but like, if something that I really like using comes along, I'm probably gonna switch it out. Because it felt like even though I was above enemies, a lot of them could still hit me. That was a neat little flurry of shrapnel. Yeah, I gotta really, you know, use this weapon to its fullest. It's not just a melee weapon, it's not just a ranged weapon. I can switch between both. Yeah, it's gonna be good for bats, maybe, as long as they stay where I want them to. I already clonked 2 of those guys out of the air with the shrapnel. I would really appreciate it if the like, the dual type scrolls would give me tactics. Because the key to tactics is to be super tanky and... I mean, no. The key to tactics is to not be tanky and to just go full damage and kill everything before it has a chance to kill you. That is what I meant to say. But yeah, these Shrapnel Axes, they seem pretty okay in terms of damage. Like, the ranged hits aren't doing as much as the melee hits, of course. But with danger comes power, and with safety comes... I mean, less power, I guess. Really? I thought Wings of the Crow would, like, be able to hit that guy. I guess I should be using the turret a little more. Did get it at the start of the run, so... I mean, it's gonna get some good mileage. Logan... I like blowgun. I do. It's an interesting weapon in concept, being the ranged version of the assassin's dagger. And I'm not doing good at avoiding getting hit. That's why I like. Ideally, this showcase, or whatever you want to call it. Ideally, I'd be doing it in brutality because I feel like it's generally stronger, even though this is not a fully fledged melee weapon or a fully fledged ranged weapon. So like might be some times where I wouldn't be getting the berserker proc as often as I want to because I wouldn't always be in melee range. But you know, that's okay. I shouldn't go in here. Well, actually, it might help me get the 60. So I mean, it might be too late for the 60. Oh, but it was a croissant, so it's well worth. I think I can deal with these guys mostly from range, as long as they don't like, jump, really. I could have killed that guy earlier. I was just kind of messing. So yeah, I normally don't go in these. I normally don't go in these. In the one cell door for the promenade because it's just an item shop and I'm not gonna need items on the first floor. If I do, I'm just kind of wasting money. I mean, if I need items on the first floor, I'm wasting money, but if I do decide to spend money on those items on the first floor, it seems like kind of a waste. I might take a break in a minute before the run gets going because I realized I forgot to get some water. If I'm going to be talking for a whole hour, I'm going to need to stay hydrated. Because it's very important to stay hydrated, as I'm sure everybody knows. I just like the little fancy beat stuff he does with that. I should have had my shield ready, but it doesn't matter because Shrapnel Axe. I'm getting close to the 60, and I wish I didn't acknowledge that because that means I'm probably gonna play worse. I like flamethrower turret, I really do, but I already have one turret, and you know, I want to give Wings of the Crow just a little bit more mileage because I've been kind of avoiding using it. Not intentionally, it's just really not in these situations where I feel like having that would be helpful. Oh dang it. Yeah, that was not a good play there. That's okay. The pop filter does make it even harder to see my health bar, I must admit, but that's okay. I can tell that I'm over halfway melee'd up, which is pretty bad, but I've got alienation. I'm gonna go for acceptance next time I get the option to. So figure I'll be able to get like a decent amount of healing and malaise reduction from that. The bats are like I expected this to be really good for dealing with bats, just because, but it's kind of not. It's not that it's terrible though. It's just, you know how bats are. Probably. By that I mean, sometimes they fly in weird patterns, so you can't really get the kind of hits that you want. Oh, root grenade. I'm not gonna take it because in my opinion, that's hot garbage, but it's there. Get him, turret. I'm not used to having like turrets that I use for small enemies. Can you get up here so I can get some damage off with the pearl? Okay. Yeah, I think if this does work with Ripper, it's gonna be pretty darn good. Not so much because you need to get the shrapnel out of the enemies, because you have 30 ammo for it, and it's like it swings pretty slowly. I know it sends out multiple shrapnel per swing, but like for the most part, like that was a full combo, and I barely even ran out. It used like a quarter of it maybe. And I know that because I was hitting a wall, the ammo was coming back to me pretty quickly, so it technically wouldn't be the best way to show how much ammo one combo would use, but you know, it's not really a big deal. Because I was paying attention to how low it did get before it started going back up. I got a rough idea. Alright, first chest. Show me what you got. I like Lacerating Aura. I'm sorry, Crow Wings, but like it's too good. Got 2 colorless items already. Oh wait. Since when does Alienation Acceptance put my curse to 8? I thought it put it to 10 because they cancel each other out. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm also gonna I'm gonna try not to die to the knife thrower. I think I can breach that guy, yeah. With that bat, I should have tapped my little, this Lacerating Aura of Laceration. I don't actually remember what it's called. Lacerating Aura, okay. I think it was Aura of Laceration at some point, so I'm still getting confused. But, you know, the name doesn't really matter that much. As long as I can remember what it does and have a rough idea of what it's called, enough to identify it, I feel like that's pretty okay. So, yeah, this is doing okay damage. That might just be because I'm comparing it to the fact that I had the level 4 Wrenching Whip for like the entirety of the last run until it's Volker. But you know, and I got an upgraded version of the axe and the 30 kill door from the prisoners area, prisoners quarters. But like, I mean, it's okay. I know that it doesn't shoot out the shrapnel if you're it doesn't shoot out the shrapnel if you're doing a melee hit, which I get, like that makes sense. Because then that would just be like too much DPS. But you know, I never really considered this weapon to be like a huge DPS powerhouse anyway. I don't think it's bad though. Get gold as well as a cell. As early on as I can get that, the better. I mean, the earlier I can get that, the better. Okay, so far so good. I can maybe block the saw with... fucking duck under it. Or I can just die. You know, that's cool too. I'm pretty malazed up. There's gonna be healing shops. I can afford to take the swig. Yeah, I'm still like not much better at trap rooms. It's too early in the morning to do at trap rooms. And by too early in the morning, I mean it's almost 3 p.m. Am I okay to be doing this without healing? Probably not, but if I have to use 2 healing potions in like right now, I'm not gonna be in a good position to win. So some risk is okay. Oh, that's scary though. Tactics. Thank you. Okay. Well, if I'm basically one hit away, I might as well be stacking more tactics. I don't like that. Two annoying enemies down there. That's better. Not great, but better. Please be food. I can't eat that. That's funny. Oh, that could have been bad, but it wasn't. I want food. So hungry. Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. See, they're the yin and yang of croissants. Oh, right. Oh, right. I have acceptance. Okay. This was not a good idea. Okay, well, at the very least, I'm not gonna have any more melees when this is done. Whether it's because I'm dead or because I survived and did all that. I can probably survive this. I can't. I was gonna try to use my thing to scope out this area. Oh gosh, the hammer. Can't get out. This is where the ranged comes in. Hey, that's oh wait, it's not over yet. That's solid range DPS. Well, at least I don't have a boss fight coming up, so I'm good here. I don't really want any of these. I mean, I get that there's a case to be made for the ice grenade. Hey, that rhymes. But you know, it's not really something I want right now. Yeah, I got a lot of curse from that from eating those croissants. I got 15. That's more than I expected. Hand-to-hand attacks cause 3 arrows stuck in the attached enemy to fall out, each one dealing 672 damage. Hopefully that scales up more because that's not that much. Well, I mean, maybe it would be, but like, I don't think so. I do have to think that it's technically ×3 because there's 3 arrows. At least I'll have range to deal with thornies. I say as I'm probably gonna like hit a thorny and die with the curse, and then I'm gonna be real sad. Sonic Crossbow. Sonic Crossbow is an interesting weapon because its crit actually deals as much or exactly as much damage as it does like with base damage. So literally the only point of like bothering for the crit with it is for Instinct of the Master of Arms. And I mean, like, Instinct of the Master of Arms is a good mutation in certain situations, so you know, if you wanna make a build around that with like real good tactics things, then you know, go for it. I just feel like tactics generally has like a lot of low cooldown sort of, well, I won't say spammable things, but you know, I gotta be like real careful with my croissant intake. Because they're all cursed croissants. With unholy flour, I guess. And butter. So much butter. I think I watched a video on how people make croissants like a really long time ago. And they'd like roll butter in with the dough to make it all flaky and cool. I just like that. That's cool. I mean, I don't like the idea of eating like a ton of butter, but you know, croissants taste good. They're not really supposed to be healthy. I used to get like these chocolate croissants way back in the day. I say way back in the day, that was like a couple years ago. They're really good. 'Cause they had like chocolate filling and also chocolate on the outside. But you know, I've been trying to stay away from sugar as much as I can, as I'm, you know, getting older, making healthier life choices, all the usual. But like, if I had the option, which I guess I do, because I can just go to the store whenever and get one. But like, if I really felt like it, I could probably like have one. Oh, dang, I want to preserve my thing, so I hope you perish quickly. Well, the Inquisitor got caught up in the collateral of that last shockwave, so shrapnel wave, I mean. Shrapnel barrage, I guess. Alright. Now, I haven't really had a win with tactics in quite a while. Just because, well, I've been doing conjunctivius-themed runs with tactics, and as I said before, those are hell. Like, actually hell. I'd get a level 9 axe, maybe. But none of these are good. This probably costs less than it would to reroll. Frozen, bleeding, toxic, burning, move speed. Well, I gotta take one of them, so I'll take the cheapest one. I mean, I don't have to take any of them. I didn't have to take any of them. I feel like sure, you can wait until the sepulcher and get a level 10 axe. Like, that's good and all, but I feel like there's nothing wrong with getting a 9-1 early just to get you through the early game. Especially if I'm going to be taking all these curses. Thankfully, they're pretty short curses. I really hope there isn't going to be like a shocker that I slam down on top of that I can't see because of this sock pop filter. That would be pretty sad if the thing I made to make the series more enjoyable to listen to would end up just having me record another video. But hey, I don't mind. If I die on a run, I'm not gonna end it right there. I'm gonna like come back with I'm probably just gonna cut back to like the rough area where I was before. My throat's really starting to feel a little scratchy. So I am gonna have to take that water break soon. I'll get through the ossuary, I think. Yeah, that seems good. Just getting through the ossuary. Then I can take a sip. I can wet my whistle. The range DPS is pretty solid, but you do have to keep yourself down in that combo for quite a while. Excuse me. Thunder Shield's pretty useful for dealing with slashers and any enemy that you really need to stun in the middle of a big attack. From my experience, anyway. Everything I say is just from my experience. If you want the exact optimal strategies and stuff like that, you know, Dead Cells Reddit, stuff like that, they'll have it. I do like Wolf Trap. I just don't know if it's worth, because I feel like the heavy turret's doing a lot, and if I'm gonna be going for this whole like ranged melee hybrid style, then having the what is it? Having lacerating aura would, you know, just generally help with the melee portion of that. Ow, sir. Really just gun down the Thornies from range, I guess. Do I want to go back for that croissant? Now that'd give me, alright, that'd give me an 8 curse. I gotta see if there are 8 enemies on the floor left. Okay, there are 8 enemies on the floor left, and I'm almost entirely sure that they aren't just the spawners and the corpse juice enemies. So I think it'll be okay. I feel like any opportunity I can get to lower my malaise with relative safety, because it's not gonna be super safe. It's really not. You're never safe when you're cursed, unless you're like in an area where 10 enemies are just gonna explode and instantly kill themselves without even trying to hit you. Then I guess you're pretty safe at first. It's just the fact that that stage hazards will kill you just as easily as anything else. Oh, that I did not see that coming to the last second. That was sheer reflex timing, I guess. Alright, I can do this. Yeah, by the time the slashers get over to you, they're already kind of just full of stuff, and then if Ripper does work, then that last hit will pluck them all out for good damage. Okay, well not all of them, but you know, the decent amount of them. I kind of want to keep this color or this colorless turret, the heavy one, but I do respect the barnacle. It doesn't do as much damage as heavy turret or crossbow-matic, I will admit, but the fact that it can stick to the ceiling and just hit enemies that you normally wouldn't be able to hit from different angles, you know, I feel like that's worth quite a bit. But it would have given me an extra stat. I would have had to give up on the get gold as well as the sell, which, you know, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but considering I already bought an early axe, Shrapnel Axe from the ossuary, I'm already a little behind in money, so it just feels like the smart choice to keep the gold as well as the sell. Don't get me wrong though, I would like to get that brutality, that one. All right. Let's see what we got here. Gold as well as the sell. I don't really like any of these. Just cause the way the stats are distributed. Alright. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get some water because I forgot to earlier, like I said. I'm gonna cut out everything, so it's gonna look no different to you, but I will be more hydrated when we return right now. Snap of my fingers, I guess. Alright, let's take down the concierge. Shouldn't be too challenging if I can get 2 flawless things on him in a row. By that I mean because I flawless him last time. I'd feel pretty good about that. See, he just faked me out. He did. Oh, looks like Ripper is working. That's really cool. Oh, that was the exact wrong direction to roll. That's fun. I guess I can stay more up in his face. Just up with my rolling. I can't tell if that's an issue with my inputs or I'm just messing up. But yeah, there's a case to be made for Ripper Shrapnel Axes. It's an interesting in-weapon synergy, I guess, with the mutation, because normally when you have Ripper, it's because you're using a ranged weapon with ammo and you've got a melee weapon with it, when you could also just Like, I feel like it'd be better to just go with the shield and then get a parry off to get all the ammo out of him. Because it doesn't say it anywhere on the wiki, I don't think, or at least I didn't see it when I was looking to confirm this. But if you parry an enemy when it has like arrows or shrapnel stuck in it, they will fall out, and you'll be able to get it back. I don't know if it's all of the ammo, but it's at least a sizable chunk of it. So if you get like 2 parries, you'd be back to full, even if it doesn't get you full in one. I think it gets you to. I think it just gets all the ammo out in one though. But you know, don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert. I just like the game. Wonder if that's the food shop. I think at this point I would take a croissant. I don't know about a baguette though. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. An owl would be cool. Great Owl of War. I feel like Great Owl of War is just like, well, okay. If you're looking at it in terms of damage, Great Owl of War is just like a better version of the Crow Wing. But if you're looking at it for utility, that's spooky. Just like a lot of damage there. Okay, now I want that. Now I want that baguette or a croissant or whatever I can get my hands on. Because with alienation, it'll heal me up right quick. Gotta be on the lookout for those hidden walls. I mean, if I get to the shop, I'll just get a baguette. That's Thunder Shield stun. It's pretty useful. I'm not too crazy about the idea of dealing with both the pirate captain and the failed experiment right back to back. I've had pretty bad experiences with that in the past, and by the past I mean like 2 minutes ago. Not even 2 minutes, like 30 seconds. Oh well, I mean, they're not so bad. It's more so everything else. The fact that I have to deal with them while also dealing with everything else is why I said uh-oh, and why that was a little scary. But, you know, it turned out okay, and that's all I can really ask for. That was strange. Dang, I really would like that food thing. Oh, there's a curse chest in here. That's better, I think. Ooh, I wish it was not infected with the malaise. I feel like it would probably still be worth to take, but much less so. Cause, okay, I'll take the curse chest. I'll see where I'm standing after that. I'm gonna have 2 malaise down, I think. Okay, it says that clearing out 10 will get rid of some malaise. Should I just go all out? No, because I want to get rid of my malaise for the most part, and that would only get rid of 1 malaise if I take the cursed croissant, the pastry of. Sorry, I can't really think of alliteration right now. Is a croissant a pastry, or is it just like baked good? Alright, that was kind of close. Okay, I have enough trouble with normal pirate captains. I'm not gonna mess with the elite one while cursed. But you know, I'll be back in a minute for his pirate's booty, his plunder, his gold and/or loot. Oh, cool. What's my health looking at? That's pretty good. Yeah, I'll go deal with that guy. So if I do take the croissant, it would be very risky. It would, but at the same time, Is this where the guy was? Yeah, that's him. I recognize the bastard. Ow. Okay, I'm healing. That's rough. I didn't think there would be two of them. In hindsight, I should have just let sleeping pirate captain elites lie. Much like dogs. And is that a proverb? Or just a saying? I don't know. I should have paid more attention in English, but you know, I slept through like all of English. Well, not all of it. English class was pretty interesting. It just also happened to be my first period, so I was very tired. I remember that from my school. Not taking another ice grenade for the same reasons that I said I wasn't going to take the last one. That croissant is enticing. Alright, I'll take the croissant. I'll take the croissant because I want to be up to at least close to full. And I know it's risky. It's always risky to take a curse. I know that. But also, like, I'm cursed. If I die, I die. I say as I almost die from Pirate Cannonball. I hate him so much. Get him, turret. Yes. Elite Bomber. Why are there two of them? I can't use the thing. Okay. Minor radio silence. Oh gosh. Oh, I saw that thing whip up from the ground at the last second. But just slow enough to not kill me. Oh jeez, that's another pirate. Oh, he's kind of low. I swear, if I die to him. Okay, I wasn't cursed anymore, so that's fine. But still, very spooky, very scary. I can afford a potion flask to help deal with my mistakes. I really don't like tactics runs because it. Yeah, this is how I see it. I feel like tactics runs, even though you have range, which is nice. You also get range with brutality and with survival because a lot of the good tactics ones are dual scaling. So, you know, magic missiles is another good tactics, and some other ones that I won't really comment on because I don't really know the state of the meta of what's super good. But yeah, it just feels like you sacrifice all of your HP to do just as much damage, but also die instantly. Like that's... Am I crazy for seeing it like that? Because you can go brutality or survival, and you can still, like... You might not one-shot stuff, but you can still chunk things for like a really, really big portion of their health, and generally do good damage. Even if it's a little more slow-paced, but like... I'd rather have the run last like another 10 minutes than me having to do multiples over again because I keep dying. That's just my perspective. But yeah, I fully expect to like... I might not even get to the Hand of the King fight, but I fully expect to just get to the Hand of the King fight and die. Just from like a... Well, one stab and then a slam down, really. Ideally, I shouldn't have Ripper, and instead I should have disengagement. But you know, once the curse chests are over and done with, I'll swap it out. I'll swap out my what's it? I don't really know what I'm gonna swap it out with, except for I know I'm gonna swap out one of them with disengagement. But as for the other one, you know, it'll depend. It might be crow's foot, or masochism. Actually, it should probably be masochism, or masochist. I don't know. I don't know if Motion Twin changes the name sometimes between, or maybe like just between different branches. But I feel like there was a point in time where it was called masochist, or masochism instead of masochist. But I could just be crazy. I'm not gonna... Do I have bonus damage to bleeding? I don't. Still though, the Sinew Slicer. Heavy turret has more DPS, but it doesn't apply bleeding. I like making them bleed in terms of dealing damage, but you know, I could have gotten rid of Lacerating Aura. It's good, but like, it's not amazing. All right, I might upgrade here. Probably not, but what is bonus damage to bleeding? Poisons the enemy. Bonus damage to poison. Are they level 11 or no? Just level 10. I feel like I'd have an easier time if I just put like one reroll into my level 9 to get some better stats on it. I'd spend less money, I think. I know it's a gamble, but at the same time, it is kind of a gamble to invest in the weapon in general when, you know, I don't want healing. Actually, I'm past all the healing shops, so there's no real point in general. Except there is occasionally a healing shop in the 5-cell extra area. It's just not that common. I'm not gonna take this cursed chest right now because I know that there's a trap room or a little trap corridor right here, and I want to at least get to a teleporter on the other side so I can skip over it if need be. You know, just careful planning to avoid dying, to avoid death in the extreme degree. I'm glad I can keep those two bats alive down there, because they'll definitely help a lot. Ooh, Thunder Shield bonus. Attacking after parry does bonus damage, causes enemies to bleed. You know, those are good affixes. It's also just a generally higher one that gives me tactics because it's colorless. So, you know, that's much appreciated. Also, I'm not even gonna look at those because the idea of doing tactics with such a heavy weapon like the scythe. Oh man, that really is not a good image in my head. Uh-oh. Thankfully, I have range. And melee. Somebody gonna show themselves? Sometimes you just gotta take the initiative. Okay. So I think that's all the cursed chests that are in the area. Well, I mean that are in the game so far. I mean, there is a small chance that I'll get a cursed chest in the castle. I will admit that. But from here on out, we can play everything just a little bit more safely by taking something, whatever I said earlier. Well, disengagement, Ripper. It's either disengagement, Ripper, Crowfoot, or disengagement, Ripper, Masochist. But at the same time, I don't know if there are a ton of, I don't know if there are going to be a ton of traps past this point. I don't think there will be. Even though I get that the hand of the king will push me into the pit with spikes, but I don't know if it's a skill-based thing or he just hasn't been doing it, but every time I get pushed into the spike pit, I just always end up like clinging to the side and pulling myself out. So, I don't don't know. I also, like, generally, for the most part, roll through it, so it's not really an issue anyway. Because you only really get knocked into the spike pit if you try to parry his charge. I mean, you can still get flung around if you let it hit you, but I mean, like, that was a little close for comfort. But, yeah, it's all good. This is probably the most successful tactics run I've had in a while because I don't have to use the tentacle as is part of the Conjunctivious run. It's tentacle, magic missiles, light speed, lacerating aura, because, you know, ooh, what's this? Toxic cloud. Does it... It does slightly less damage, but... I don't know. You know what? No, I'll take it. It says it does slightly less DPS. I get that, but I mean that's fine. As long as it. Oh wait, I'm in darkness. The elite hasn't seen me, so I can just kind of do that. Like I said before, I'm not above the cheese, especially in tactics. Tactics is all cheese. You can't win in tactics if you're playing fair. I'm kidding, really. If you like playing tactics and you have a good win rate, well, not even win rate. Oh jeez, that's a lot of damage. I didn't mean win rate. I meant like if you have like an amount of success that you're proud of while playing tactics, and you know you've grown accustomed to that play style. You like playing it. That's is what I meant to say. I'm doing it. There are a lot of bats in the area. Just because I got hit earlier. Yeah, see, there we go. Really easy curse. Plus, you know, like I'm swapping out this combo coming up soon, so generally, I say generally a lot. I do say generally a lot. That's true. Couldn't get to full, but you know that's okay. Where's the next place that I'm going? Oh, I see. That's not what you want to see. I really thought that was a dead end down there. My apologies. I'm not gonna blame everything on my mic placement, but because it's not even in front of the minimap. It's just something about having it here draws my attention away from the minimap. So I feel like it's blocking, even though it's not. Yeah. So I do hope I can get a good. I mean, I hope I can get a win here. Because if I get a win on 5-cell mode with tactics, I'm gonna be doing way better than I normally do with tactics. I also just realized that the aura of laceration, that shrapnel looks exactly the same as the Shrapnel Axes shrapnel. It's just in a different formation because it's orbiting around you in an aura. That's cool. I was not even trying to go for that thematic thing. But, you know, happy little coincidence. I do like the word coincidence, just because, like, when two things coincide together, it is a coincidence, or a coincidence. It feels like it should be pronounced coincidence, but coincidence just sounds better. In fact, you know, it might be pronounced coincidence, and everybody just accepted that it sounds better the other way. That's a possibility. I've seen stuff like that happen with, you know, whatever. Generates. Okay, I like this. I like it enough to get rid of Lacerating Aura, I think. It might... I know I was just talking about how it's thematic and it's fitting to have lacerating aura, and then I just chuck it, but you know, that's how it goes. Okay. I don't think Ripper's good. I really don't. I'm solely taking it out of principle because I said I was gonna try to do a Ripper run with the axes, and that's what I'm doing. But I feel like it would be better if I didn't. But you know, that's what the backup run is for. Because if I don't win here, I'm gonna play with the Shrapnel Axes on brutality and cut back to where I died here, I guess. I don't want to make like a whole other video using the same weapon, really. Even though I could. I think. Okay, yeah, I'll go with Ripper. I think Ripper disengagement is a pretty good combo. I don't think I'm gonna get a flawless on Timekeeper here, just because I have to keep myself rooted in attacks if I want to spread the shrapnel around. But you know, it could happen. She's just kind of melting like from my turrets. Ow. Ow. Yeah, that was my mistake. Just gotta keep my distance. Alright, yeah, I should not have tried to fight her close range. That was a big mistake. I'll keep that in mind if I ever try to do this again. Which I probably won't. You know, Rally might have been I don't know. I was thinking Rally might have been a good idea because, like, I'm glass cannon, I'm gonna get one shot anyway. But building up my HP isn't really gonna help that much, because if I get shot down to 1, then one-shot protection isn't gonna save me next time. So, but yeah, I don't know. That's it's always nice to be greeted by a friendly face. Cool. Bonus damage to bleeding, bonus damage to poison. I like bonus damage to poison. I'll buy it. It's not like I'm gonna be needing to buy anything else in the future anyway. Just no more healing shops, no more much of anything really in terms of shops. I'm not gonna take that ice bow. So yeah, I've been playing kind of fast and loose with this melee tactics build when really, like, as the game's going on, increasing in difficulty, what I really should be doing, I might have wanted to take that parry shield. I just kind of like the idea of using Thunder Shield because I don't use it that much. But it would have been good for the hands bombs, stuff like that. It was a tactical double turret so that I could bounce the other one off. Just okay, I was too focused on the Royal Guard. That kind of spooked me. I mean, that Thunder Shield shock DPS is not bad. 16k on a level 9 shield with 32 tactics. I give that an okay in my book. I was really scared for a second, then I remembered I had Masochist. But then I double remembered that I don't want to take damage if I don't have to. actually gone. That's okay. I've got parry timing. And I need parry timing, because if I missed any of those parries, I would be dead. Well, I mean, I got one-shot protection, kind of, but I still think I would have died. Just because, like, that enemy is kind of known to stun lock. If I get hit with the first shot, I'm gonna probably get hit with the second. I'm not above cheese tactics when I'm playing tactics. Oh yeah, the demons are resistant to fire, so my flamethrower turret is gonna do nothing against them. It's not like that's a big deal though, because that's what the other one's for. Let me see if I can do something spicy. Okay, well that was like spice adjacent. I'm just gonna stay away from that. Wait. Okay. You know, if you want to not get hit, you gotta make those noises. It's all part of it's all part of the game. It's a hidden game mechanic. Yeah, I'm thinking this is gonna be like a full ranged run from here on out, which makes me think Ripper very not good. I guess what's the point of taking Ripper if I'm not like intending to use it? Because I know I said it was for the run. Oh hey, 777 cells. That's jackpot. Nice. It brings good luck, meaning I might actually win a melee tactics run for once in my life. Now I have won melee tactics runs before, just not in 5-cell mode. I think it was like 3. I feel like you can win anything in 3-cell mode as long as you're as long as you practice enough. Because that's what everything in the game comes down to. It's practice. I mean, like, I'm sure there's some level of like latent skill for video games for people like Jorge Risto, the absolute machine mad lad. He can just do all these boss fights without getting hit flawlessly, and that takes true talent. I mean, it's also like, I'm sure it's a built-up skill. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, he's only doing this because he's talent, or because he's got talent, like he was born with it. No, the man. I respect that man so much from like a speedrunning standpoint. I've never really done speedrunning or like flawless boss things, but I can still really appreciate all the time and dedication that it takes to really learn a game well enough to do so well in it. Also, like Ripper, it does damage. Ripper is doing damage. It exists to do that, and it is doing that. It's just not that much. But yeah. Or it's not that it's not that much damage, it's just that it's kind of hard to get to it. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, it's like every game is... The ability to be good at any game is just skill that you build up and practice over time. Some people are born with like a certain level of talent that just makes it easier for them to develop that skill, but like nobody's just born really good at video games. Like, especially something like Dead Cells, where you gotta practice all the enemy patterns and like how to use all the different weapons and everything. Like, yeah, it's a built-up skill, and it really is. So I remember being stuck there on 0-cell mode, not being able to beat the game, and then it's like, it gets harder. It does get hard. Ow, come on. I really don't like the demons. I also don't like how I just get one shot by everything. Oh. Nice try. I was watching. Okay. That was... You never want to, like, fall like that. It's just bad. You always gotta... Okay, well, not always. There are some situations where you slamming down on the ground would be actively worse, but for the most part, you want to slam to negate the fall stun. Because if you fall in the middle of enemies, especially if you're playing tactics, you're gonna die. Excuse me, sorry. I do cut out all the audio from when I cough or burp into the mic or something gross like that. But just as part of my nature, I can't avoid saying I can't avoid apologizing, even though I know nobody's gonna hear it. So if you're wondering, so if you're wondering why I randomly like get a little choked up and say sorry, that's why. It's because I made a little noise into the mic. At this point, I really want that health, and I will totally risk everything for it. I was like, I did take a malaise up croissant just because, like, normally you never want to, but I'm at the point where if my malaise ever gets up to 10 from the hits I'm taking, I will have died like 5 hits ago. So there's really no reason to worry about malaise right now. No reason for me to worry about it anyway. Got a good Shrapnel Axe. I already bought a new one. My greed for shiny new weapons is just boundless. I should heal. I don't want to, but I should. Because there aren't gonna be any heals anywhere, and well, actually, okay. If I've got disengagement up, because whether I'm at full health or I'm at this amount, I'm gonna get hit down to 1, and disengagement's gonna like really start kicking in for me. So maybe I should take some. No resistances, no health. This is a tactics run. I gotta dissuade these sensical thoughts from my mind. Extra damage to stun, extra damage to poison, shot spears the first target. It's not that good. How much would it cost to reroll? Okay, extra damage to burning. Oh, those red stats. Oh, heck. Okay, well. Yeah, that was not worth it. But whatever. Do I want to abandon Ripper? I don't feel like... Okay. I'm not gonna have enough money to... I'm not gonna have enough money to, like, rebind, or to get enough mutations, or to get my mutations for the hand fight, and then get my mutations for the collector. Yeah. So, I feel like if I can just fight the hand with what I have right now, it's gonna be, like, the best case scenario. Bastard. He always gets me with that attack. And that one, I guess. Okay. Well, I made an attempt at a tactics run on 5-cell mode. I just hope that can be appreciated. I will now go and I'll go do this all again on brutality and see if I have any better luck. Just so I can show the win with the Shrapnel Axes. Okay. I'll be right back. So here we are again, attempting to fight the Hand of the King with the Shrapnel Axes, this time running the brutality build instead of the tactics one. There's no real main noteworthy difference, aside from the fact that I have actual health and won't be one-shot. But when it comes to the strategy, nothing changes either, except no more playing around Ripper, because Ripper does not scale with brutality. Not that it was doing a lot of damage or doing me much good anyway. I should clarify that this is post-commentary right now, because I did not have good audio recording conditions at the time of doing this fight. But, you know, that's just how it had to be. So, generally chunking through him pretty easily. Got caught on those 2 bombs for no real reason. Yeah, it's not like it's a big deal because soldier's resistance plus dead inside. Necromancy's gonna get rid of most of them malaise. We're also trying out Knife Storm this run. Very good very good power. I did not get good timing on his big slam move, so I did take a big hit there, but it's not going to matter much. There he goes for it again, but I would have gotten the dodge on that one if it mattered, but it really didn't. So that fight, far easier than it is on tactics, definitely. I would recommend, if you like the Shrapnel Axes and don't really like them because of Ripper, like, I just recommend playing them with brutality anyway. Because they don't do the most damage in the world, but they are a pretty decent DPS melee weapon with some ranged capabilities in a pinch. I believe I stick with the same... Never mind, I don't stick with the same mutations. I think I switch it up to something else. This run was quite far in the past, so I don't remember exactly how it goes. But yeah, Berserker, Soldier Resistance, Adrenaline, maybe? I think what I was considering here was if I was gonna make something that could get me through the Astrolab, but also just get me to through the Collector fight as well. But I see I took Necromancy for the last one, so I'm just trying to brute force my way to the fight without using any more potions if I can, I think. Also, the outfit we're using, I believe it's called the Cloud outfit, and it's dropped by those shockers in the ossuary. And it's not my favorite, but I've got random outfits on, so can't really complain. Oh yeah, we do have a really good knife dance, I think it's called. Yeah. With bleed propagation, so when an enemy dies to bleeding, it will spread that bleeding to other enemies. I believe I also have plus 60% on the plus 60% to a bleeding target on the Shrapnel Axes, so that's just going to be a nice bonus DPS whenever I can get that knife dance off. I get confused because it used to be called Knife Storm back in the day, so... I do have issues with some of the items having different names than they used to. Generally getting them confused, but you know, it doesn't really matter as long as I know what the item is. So this is... I don't remember anything noteworthy about this this trip to the Astrolab. It's just beating everything down. I do remember that knife dance made all of these elite fights very trivial, because if you just roll through an elite and then hit the knife dance while you're in the middle of them, it just stacks all that bleeding on them and they get shredded down pretty quickly. I don't think I figured to try that rolling tactic until later on though, so for now it's just getting up and close and personal, getting like half the knives on him. It still does more than enough damage to get him done though. looking for a better axe. Most of them have poison synergy, and I don't have anything that makes poison at the moment, so it's not really going to be that useful. It's always nice to get a drop on a slammer before it gets to drop on you, but then get hit anyway. Standard fare. So bombers are going to be generally annoying, as they always are, but not nearly as much as the librarians. The knife dance, when it's off cooldown, really helps a lot with them though, because even if they just get one, they have such little max HP that the bleed will make short work of them, even without like having anything else on them. So that's pretty useful. I don't think I really used knife dance much back in the day, because I would say back in the day a lot. I mean, I don't know, just in previous runs. It's partially just because I didn't really value damage over time that much when I was going to the lower cell difficulties, because it was just like, well, I want the thing that has the highest DPS. So, but as you can see by passing over that, the bleed DPS, which isn't really counted for in the actual DPS of the weapons, like what it says just below the name, it's very solid. It's a large amount of DPS. Just dodging around that librarian, waiting for my knife dance to come off cooldown. It really helps to have like anything that can hit up when you're in the Astrolab, solely because of librarians. They can be a challenging enemy, definitely. Like, I mean, as I said before, it's mostly just when you're fighting them in tandem with other enemies. They themselves, their patterns aren't that hard to dodge, as long as you like have a rhythm for it. At first, I imagine they're really hard because the only way to dodge is with a roll. There's no other way, unless you have force shield, of course. And maybe like some fast dash, like light speed, but I don't think it would do that. Maybe if you had like pixel perfect timing, not pixel perfect, but like frame perfect. Still, I don't think it worked like that. But you know, I might try it sometime just to get an answer. Yeah, we've arrived at the Wizard Tower, the Alchemist Tower, I guess you could call it too, since, you know, it belongs to the Alchemist. We got a nice, we got some nice bleed and burn, good damage over time. It's pretty common for a good brutality build, the kind I like anyway. I know the Hokuto's bow alchemic carbine is such a great combo that works well with damage. Well, it is damage over time. It works well with brutality because both of those ranged weapons have brutality scaling, meaning you get all the benefit of having a tactics weapon, but you get to have the max HP of brutality. It's generally really good. It's like, I just feel like you could balance out dead cells pretty decently easily, or at least like make tactics viable again just by reducing the sheer drop in HP that happens between tactics and brutality. Because if you look at like the base scrolls, like how much HP they give you, you get 70% from survival, 65% from brutality, and then it drops all the way down to 50% for tactics. So that's 3 times the drop off. And for what? Just having more range? I don't mean to complain about tactics all the time. I've had a lot of fun with it in the past. I know as long as you play safe, it can be pretty interesting and fun. But I don't know, I just kind of generally prefer to be in the action, you know? Getting rewarded for playing fast, not playing safely. Because I know even when I'm cursed, I'm still like in the middle of the fight for the most part. Like I'll cheese some enemies with like a turret or a grenade, of course, just to get the thing down, but like I'm not gonna wait out the entire cooldown just to get a couple stacks. Like I'm pretty confident in my ability to fight like 10 enemies without getting hit for the most part. I mean, it depends on the situation, because of course there's some layouts where you're like basically guaranteed to get hit. Not really layouts, but like a situation in which the way the enemies are positioned is generally unfavorable, you know? I'm sure I'm sure anybody can find a situation like that pretty easily if they're thinking about it. I think I missed the jump twice when I was trying to do this. Nope. Never mind. I don't know what was up with that, but just like barely grazed the top of it and didn't stick. That's okay. So made it to the top. I'm gonna cheese the birds again, as always. It's not that I can't fight them, it's just it feels like if I don't cheese the birds, they're gonna cheese me. Because well, sometimes the way they attack like in an offset where they're both facing different directions, so if I roll through one, I'm gonna get hit by the other immediately, and you know, it feels like you gotta fight cheese with cheese, I guess. That's why I enjoy this. Oh yeah, I wanted to go down and get that baguette for some healing somewhere, but I think I gave up on it because it's just like slightly too far away from a teleporter, and I'd have to go through a trap, probably get hit for more damage than it'd be worth. Or I was also checking out the shop. But yeah, I gave up on that diseased baguette. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember how long I tried, but I can't imagine it was very long. Because, you know, without Masochist, I'm kind of wary of trap rooms and everything, but for the most part, those arrows wouldn't really be reduced all that much by Masochist, because unless you're playing tactics, of course, they're probably not going to do much more than 10% of your health anyway. Yeah, made it through the Astrolab, didn't even have to pop a potion. Got 3 for the Collector fight, which is like a really good position. I really enjoy going with Adrenaline for the Collector fight, because they're a decent amount of attacks that you can dodge without parrying, and they'll just give you like a good amount of healing when you're done. Cat's walking around on my desk right now. He's a good fella, but I hope he doesn't meow right into the microphone. So yeah, going with the standard setup. Adrenaline, the 2 HP upgrades. Things that Brutality lets me use to be tanky. Like, I do enjoy stacking health. It's not so much because I feel like I'm gonna need it, like I'm gonna get hit constantly, but I just like having the added safety of, if I do get caught in some kind of nasty combo, it's probably not gonna be like a one-shot combo, 100 to 0 me. So that would be pretty frustrating. I don't remember how this fight goes, but considering how well he's being just beefed down by damage over time, I assume it goes pretty well. Yeah, the knife storm, or the knife dance. Dance of Knives. I don't even remember what it's called now. It gets a lot of good DPS going on the guy. Especially with the plus 60% on the Shrapnel Axes. See, I'm not really using the ranged portion of the Shrapnel Axe much, because the melee just does more in terms of overall DPS. And that's fine. Like, if you can use the melee, you might as well. So this is a really good attack for getting Adrenaline built up, as long as you don't get hit by it, of course. because the only way to block it is by dodging, or the only way to avoid it, the damage, is by dodging. And then he'll just come down and let you hit him for a while immediately afterwards, so you can usually, I mean, even if you do get hit, you can rally up some of your health, but then you get even more bonus health from that. So the Collector, I don't feel like the boss fight is very hard to win against in itself. It is like the first couple times. I died like 3 times, like 2 or 3 times before I really figured out how to fight him. But he's very hard to flawless, so that flawless achievement is going to elude me and a lot of people for quite a while, most likely. Just because like bombs rain from the sky all the time. There are some hits that are generally difficult to dodge, even if they don't do all that much damage. I also noticed that you can't hit him when he's up in the sky, I don't think. But he will, like, he also can't die when he's up in the sky. I think he has to be finished off by a hit from like one of your main weapons, like your primary or secondary. But yeah, that's another win for me to balance out the loss from earlier. And yeah, you can just watch the general ending cutscene as well. See what outfit I get from the lottery in the next one. And well, with that, I'd say once again, thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions for themed runs or even just weapons that you want me to check out, love to hear them if you leave them down in the comments. I believe next build I'm gonna just pop into survival, pick whatever interesting survival weapon comes in the. Oh, we get the default outfit too. Pick whatever interesting survival weapon I see. Alright, see ya.